Shalom, all praises, blessings, glories, and honors unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rachakudash. Double honors to my elder apostles and bishop elders of Great Millstone who have taught me this truth, as well as men of like mind. Shalom wa chasad, which means peace and mercy, to the elect of the nation of Israel, whom are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelite foreigners of the sea land of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who are scattered here in America, which is Babylon the Great, and abroad. To you I say Shalom, and Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Ratazah. This lesson is edifying. 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. In the news from the RT, Russia to cut gas supplies to France. Figaro. Gasprom is reportedly set to reduce deliveries starting on August the 30th. Russian energy giant Gasprom has informed French energy major Engie about a reduction of gas deliveries starting August the 30th. Figaro newspaper reported on Tuesday. A press release reportedly said that the reason for the immediate supply cut is due to disagreements over supply contracts. The news come after Gazprom's deliveries to the French utility had already been reduced last month, the newspaper noted. Engie, however, assured customers that it has already secured the volumes necessary to ensure the supply of its customers and for its own needs, and has taken measures to significantly reduce the impact of a potential complete shutdown of Russian gas deliveries, according to the head of the Energy Regulation Commission, CRE, Emmanuel Wargan. France's strategic gas reserves are currently around 91% full. This news comes after the French President Emmanuel Macron had recently made this statement. Now, this was published by Disclose.tv on August the 24th, which the title of this discourse reads, French President Macron proclaims the end of abundance. City sacrifices to defend freedom. These were his words.
What we are living through is a time of great upheaval. Firstly, because we are witnessing, and not just since this summer, but over the past few years, the end of what we might have seen as abundance. And for those who enjoyed it, it is also the end of a carefree time. Our freedom, the liberty to which we have grown accustomed to in our lives, has a price, and sometimes when we have to defend it, we have to make certain sacrifices as we fight to defend it.
This statement, again, had came in response to the rising electricity prices throughout Europe, and where Europeans are now paying between 400 to 600 euros for their electricity per month. Now, this news is published by Javier Blas on Twitter on August the 23rd, which reads map of the day. Day-ahead electricity prices in Europe are eye-watering, with lots of countries setting record highs for today. Notable to see the Nordics close to 400 euros per megawatt, and Germany at 600. Before 2020, anything above 75 to 100 euros was considered expensive. So if 75 to 100 euros was considered expensive prior to 2020, how much more what they're paying now? That's between 400 to 600 euros plus. And as regarding France, the French pay well over 600 euros for the electricity. They pay 611.85 to be exact euros per month for their electricity due to the ongoing energy crisis that is not only affecting France but also Europe. And then comes this news here today that Russia is set to cut off gas supplies to France. So this will only deepen the effects of high electricity bills, not only on France, but also eventually throughout Europe, because it's going to create a chain reaction. Okay? And then eventually what's going to happen is that all these things are going to affect here in America, Babylon the Great, because people are already backed up with their electricity bills. So the Lord is really heating things up. They've even spoken about an energy hyperinflation. It says the same day, Belgian Prime Minister Alexander De Croo went much further, suggesting that the next 5 to 10 winters will be difficult. The development of the situation is very difficult throughout Europe, De Croo told Belgian broadcaster VRT. In a number of sectors, it is really difficult to deal with those high energy prices. And then now they have to deal with more gas constraints, and particularly regarding France, which we understand will ultimately affect the rest of Europe. We are monitoring this closely, but we must be transparent. The coming months will be difficult. The coming winters will be difficult, he said. French President Emmanuel Macron on Wednesday went even further, warning at his first cabinet meeting after the summer holidays that the French should expect to make deep sacrifices in what he called the end of abundance. And not only will it be the end of abundance for France, it will also be the end of abundance for the whole world, because the Lord is about to unleash plagues of famine throughout the entire globe. The Prime Minister's comments suggest replacing Russian natural gas imports could take years, exerting further economic doom on the region's economy in the form of energy hyperinflation. So Russia will continue to cut gas supplies to Europe, which will only deepen their current ongoing crisis, which will then lead to energy hyperinflation. So the Lord is bringing judgment upon the world. Again, this is 2 Ezra chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them. To who? To 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Would say, according to Amos chapter 9, verse 10, that the evils shall not overtake nor prevent them. Okay, so many great miseries in the form of plagues, pestilences, earthquakes in diverse places, droughts, famines. Many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. Why? Because they have walked in great pride. So these great miseries are going to come upon the world because the people have walked in great pride. In fact, our Lord said it here in 2 Ezra the 15th chapter. The 18th verse, it says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So because of their pride, many great miseries shall come upon the world, and also why these cities are going to be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, the gun, different instruments of cruelty that they use in this day and age, and spoil their goods, take all their goods, their food, their drink. Because remember, famine is going to be here. In fact, famine is already here. But the Lord's going to just continue to turn things up because of the lack of bread, which is what? Famine, hunger, and for great tribulation. So judgment will only continue to be issued out on a more severe and intensified scale by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So I conclude the lesson here. Lord's willing, it was edifying. And until the next, Lord's willing, I say shalom to the elect.